What's going on YouTube? Rob-A here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Figma Thor from the Avengers movie. And as you can see, he's pretty awesome. So I don't have the box with me right now. I got Thor kind of a while ago, and I put the box in storage already, so I do apologize about that. But since Captain America is now winging his way towards my doorstep, I figured, maybe I should probably do the Thor review now. So here he is in all of his coolness, and we're going to check him out real quick. So, first of all, Thor. He comes with a Figma stand, as we're used to seeing right here. So, very, very nice thing to have. So we'll just put that right off to the side. But as you can see, well, never mind. As I was saying, as you can see, he can stand just fine on his own. He's very nicely articulated, with a few, we'll say, few minor things that I'm not terribly excited about. But overall, I'm quite happy with him. So of course, this is Figma. You are going to get the Figma joint system, which can lead to these kind of unsightly bumps on the back of the knees. But thankfully on Thor here, they are very much harder to notice than Spider-Man from the same company. He's got a nice cloth cape that can be a little bit of a challenge or an annoyance to actually get. It comes detached in the package, and you actually have to attach it. This whole little assembly comes out, and there comes with little pins that you have to push in. I'll try and get it in up there. You can kind of see the pin in there. You have to fold the cape over and push the pin in there, and then put this little assembly on top to kind of make it look more, I don't know, something. But the effect in the end is actually really nice. It kind of gives the cape this nice fold, nice drape. So it looks really nicely when it falls. And I'm a big fan of the cloth capes on these guys. I know Figuarts tends to do the non-cloth capes. They do the just the segmented plastic capes and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of that personally. I can certainly see the merits of it, but I like the cloth. I just like the way the cloth capes hang, for my personal preference. But as you can see, it's a reasonable impersonation of what is it, Chris Hemsworth, I believe is the actor's name. It looks enough like him, especially on this scale. You're not, it's not a Hot Toys. You're not going to get that super intense realism going on here. But as you can see, it looks reasonable enough. And overall, the paintwork is really nice on this guy. He's got a lot of nice jointage and everything. And here is, of course, Mjolnir, the hammer. And the way this attaches in the hand is you can actually detach the head of the hammer from the handle, and it's very easy to just stick it back together, and there you go, right there. So he also comes with a variety of different hands, and of course the Figma plastic baggie. And this little tool here as well, which we will get into right now. How's that sound? So I'm not going to bother really showing you the different hands. It's just kind of the usual fare. You get the left-handed hammer hand, the fist, the closed fist, the open hand for the right, and you also get a little baggie. Let me just open this stupid thing or something. The more fists and an extra. So these are what the joints look like. So they have gone a different way than the older joint system. They're a little bit thicker now. So you've got So you won't be able to stick, you know, Spider-Man's hands on Thor, unfortunately. But it's, you know, it's all good. So we'll go over articulation here. You do get a decent range of motion in the head. It can turn all the way around. And here's the biggest problem with I think with this guy is that his neck doesn't actually turn. You can see his neck, it pivots forward and it can go back, but the neck itself does not turn. And that can lead to a little bit of restriction when it comes to the head. You can turn his head no problem, but some of the poses just end up not looking quite natural because it's really hard because the joint is on this little segmented ball joint up at the top, and just the way that it sits and goes, like you can get him in pretty much any position you like, but it may not look particularly like a natural human head position. And you're wondering, doesn't his hair get in the way of a lot of stuff? Well, yeah, normally it would, but they've actually gone and his hair has these separate little pieces here, which are actually on ball joints underneath. So you can actually get some decent articulation in the hair as well. So you can, you know, have them looking up or, you know, looking down, just fold it in. So you got a lot of decent stuff going on there. And you can actually collapse it pretty well so it doesn't really interfere with much of anything. So while we're on the subject of his head, he's got a face, and you could pull that face off. So start screaming now, everybody. So here is his face in all of its glory, I guess. And you can see he's got his eyes in there. And if you turn it around, you can see he's got these little stalks in the back of his eyes. So what you do, and for those of you that buy a lot of like Reveltech and other figures like that, you may be familiar with this feature already. But for those that are not, you get this little tool, like so, and you can just stick it back in there, and you can move his eyes around. And now you've got creepy zombie Thor. And this is not the easiest. It's not so simple. And yeah, crazy eyes Thor. So, you know, you can kind of have his eyes positioned however you like. I'm going to try desperately to get mine centered again because I just kind of want them. That's a little too much. Yeah, so anyway. Alright. Let's see if we can't get this guy. It's good enough for now. Yeah, anyhow, so there you go. You can get his eyes kind of moved however you like, those beautiful baby blues. And as far as the other articulation in his body, he's got a very nice arm, can go up like a so. It can go up a little higher if you turn it, of course. It is restricted by the cape and all the armor and things like that, but I think it's realistic to the way he'd be able to move in the costume. So I think it works. It also goes up and down as well. You've got elbow, very nice deep elbow. And the big thing that bugs me about this is he does not have a bicep swivel. I think that's really kind of important. I mean, you can move his arm this way and that, so you get basically the movement of a bicep swivel. But this is just, you can't bring his arms in like all the way in front of him, so you couldn't have him like crossing his arms, which I think is kind of a bummer because Thor just seems like the type that might cross his arms. But you do get nice ball jointed hand motion here, like so. And of course, a lot of nice articulation in the chest and torso. So the chest can rotate all the way around like that. He's got an ab crunch, which is decently effective. This is soft rubber, so it doesn't really get in the way of anything. He's of course got all kinds of rotation at the waist and hips. His legs do a really nice job here. You can see they don't look like they'd be terribly articulated because they blend very well with his body. But you get a lot of very nice range of motion out of those, surprisingly so, to have him in hand. And again, he doesn't have a thigh swivel either, but you get a lot of rotation at the hip, so it kind of works itself out. Super deep knee bend here thanks to that Figma wheel in his knee. He's got all the movement you'd want in the foot, the kind of rotation, the back and forth. He's got the toe joint as well. And you can get this guy into a lot of really nice poses. Not that I'll be able to replicate any on camera, but still. So really nicely posable. He can stand up on his own just fine, no problems. You know, you may have to just fidget a little bit here and there just to make sure his feet are firmly planted, of course, but he looks really good holding that hammer of his. And yeah, really nice looking figure, beautifully sculpted and really nicely painted and detailed. So I'm very happy with this guy. And we'll stand him up with the hammer. There we go. Just a quick size comparison here. Here he is with his Figma counterpart, Spider-Man. Now I love the height difference here. I think it's fantastic that they went and made Spider-Man a lot shorter than the rest of the Avengers are going to be. I think that's awesome. Also, Figma, if you happen to come across this video somehow, please, Amazing Spider-Man 2 version of this Spider-Man figure. Totally need it. Desperately, I want it. I will happily pay for it. This is like my favorite action figure of all time right here. But that said, we'll show him off with another quick comparison. Here he is with Drax from the Marvel Legends series. Drax is taller, but I think that's okay because Drax is supposed to be kind of big, kind of beefy. Here he is with Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker, and he's quite a bit taller than Mr. Mark Hamill here. But yeah, overall, absolutely fantastic figure. I'm super excited to have the rest of the Avengers coming my way soon enough. And yeah, I definitely highly recommend this guy. He's a lot of fun to pose, and he's just super cool figure all around. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, be sure to stay tuned to my channel. I do have Captain America coming probably in the next, well, I don't know. I may hold off until Iron Man drops, which is supposed to be at the end of this month, September. So I may wait for that, but he will be coming up. In the meantime, I'm probably going to make some reviews for all those Star Wars and Marvel Legends and everything else figures, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks again for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.